I'm the mom behind the mask. Welcome. If you're concerned about the world we're leaving to our children, well, then it looks like your algorithm brought you to the right place. I have a quick video for you guys today, but it's something I came across that I just had to talk to you about. An unnamed German-American couple living in Spain were arrested after it was found they had held their 3 children captive in their house since 2021. And the reason, you may ask, is because they were afraid of COVID. That's right, it was said that the 8-year-old twin boys and their older 10-year-old brother have not left their house since December 2021. A neighbor called the police and requested a welfare check on the children, stating they had heard children in the house, but they had only ever seen the father come and go. When the police showed up for the welfare check, it said that the parents were cooperative, but told them if they wanted to come in, they had to wear masks. Which is truly ironic that they were afraid of COVID, but apparently the children and the family were living in filth. They said the children were still being forced to sleep in cribs and wear diapers at 8 and 10 years old, and that the house was filled in trash. So it's really ironic that they were afraid of COVID, but they weren't afraid of other diseases that can be caused by trash and feces, like Giardia, E. coli, Salmonella, hepatitis. Make that make sense. And the police said what was truly sad was when they finally brought the children outside, they took a deep breath like they hadn't breathed fresh air in so long. And clearly they hadn't, because it was found out that the parents didn't even let the children outside in the yard or in the garden. They said the children saw a snail and freaked out. These kids have been completely closed off from the outside world. It was also reported that not only did they ask the officers to wear masks, but they placed 3 masks on each of the children, like layered 3 masks on them, and told the officers they needed to be careful because the children were very sick. But that turned out not to be true. They were all in relatively good health for the situation. Some interesting and concerning things about when they interviewed the mother. She had said the reason they were all still wearing diapers is because they were having a hard time controlling their bowel movements. They hadn't learned how to control their bowel movements yet. But it turned out in the physical and medical examination that wasn't true. They could control their bowel movements, so it's unknown why she wanted them to continue to wear a diaper. But it should be noted that they also said the children seemed very scared to answer questions around her. I was also curious why they were wearing the same outfits in these pictures, and I thought, wow, were the parents dressing them the same because they're twins? Well, no, it turns out that they actually didn't have any clothes or shoes that fit. They had been wearing pajamas every single day. Every single day they were wearing pajamas. So I can only assume that in this situation, the police had to go and buy them new clothes. I truly can't get over the fact that they were still wearing diapers and sleeping in cribs, and the fact that they were never even allowed to step outside. They said the family moved from Germany to Spain because at the end of COVID, when the children were supposed to return to school, they requested permission to continue homeschooling their children and were denied, and said if they tried to do so, they would be reported to German authorities. So they seemingly fled to Spain where they could continue to homeschool their kids. And it was said that one of the rooms in the house was turned into a classroom. However, the children were not properly educated, that they could not read or write on grade level or appropriately for their age. So it makes you wonder, what were the intentions here? It said that they had COVID syndrome, that they were fearful of the children contracting COVID. The mom was adamant that the children were sick, that they had illnesses, but something just isn't adding up to me. It said the house was filthy, yet they had upwards of 10 air purifiers in the house. That sounds odd, does it not? Not only that, but it said they were only allowed a certain amount of time with the blinds up to get sunlight into the house, like so many hours of the day. They couldn't step outside. The children hadn't felt the sunlight on their skin in years. I don't really understand how that could add up to you being afraid of your children getting COVID, stepping outside into your backyard, into your garden. You're not going to contract COVID. I could understand them being afraid still of, coming in contact with people. That I could somewhat understand at least, but not even being able to step outside, not being able to open the windows to have fresh air come in, it just doesn't make sense. So it makes me wonder, was this truly a case of you being afraid of your children contracting COVID, or was this just an excuse to isolate, control, and abuse them. And another thing I want to talk about is the bigger picture here, the bigger problem. And that is, there are more kids like this. There are more kids who are still stuck in their houses. I guarantee it. There are a lot of kids who, after COVID, did not go back to school and have not gone back to school under the guise of homeschooling. And I have no issue with homeschooling. I think homeschooling is great if done properly. But I think here in a few years, we're going to see a very big problem when these children age out and go into the world, are adults and go into the workforce possibly, and have no proper education. That's going to be a big problem here, and it's so unfortunate for these children, and thankfully they were found, but I have a feeling there are a lot more just like them. So let me know what you think. This was a short video, and this is a relatively new channel, so any constructive feedback is appreciated. Let me know if you like the shorter videos like this, or if you prefer the longer ones. I know myself, listening to YouTube videos, I like to just put a video on and do my daily chores or whatever I have to do and have, a video on in the background. But let me know what you think, and let me know your thoughts down in the comments. If you're still here, thanks for watching, and subscribe if you like.